I've spent millions on TikTok ads over the past few years through my marketing agency Affluent.co for companies all over the globe selling all kinds of different products and services. And today I'm going to teach you how to launch your first profitable TikTok ads from scratch, even if you have no experience whatsoever. This is going to be a full step-by-step guide. So close all your tabs and pay attention, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to launch your first campaign. Now, TikTok is no longer a platform just for the younger demographics. In fact, they now reach over 20% of all internet users over the age of 18 years old. So it is an essential part of all and any holistic marketing strategies in 2025 and beyond. Now, quickly before we get into the meat, I'm going to launch a quick competition on this video. And I want you to comment down below to enter this competition and let me know your goals for advertising on TikTok right now. What are you trying to achieve? And for every 1 in 100 people that comment down below, I'm going to give you completely free access to a mini course that will teach you advanced TikTok marketing strategies that we have learned over the years. So comment down below and let us know your goals. Let's get into it. So if you have never advertised on TikTok before, this is for you regardless of whether you want to generate leads on the platform or you want to get direct sales through an e-commerce business. Regardless of your business model, regardless of what you're selling, this video is going to help you launch your first campaign. So I'm going to put a link in the description. If you don't already have an account, you'll be able to sign up for a TikTok business account, as it is called. Now, TikTok very graciously have decided to give you guys some completely free ad credit who watch this video. And the ad credit will change over time, so I'm going to continue updating this link, but you'll be able to get up to $1,000 in completely free ad spend when you use the link in the description to sign up to the platform. So click that. All you're going to do is scroll down. You're going to enter your business industry, your business name, your phone number, your website, and you're going to be able to hit get started. And that really is all you need to do to get your account set up. Okay. And this is going to set up what is called your TikTok business account. And this is where you host all things inside TikTok advertising. Now, the main thing it's going to host is the TikTok Ads Manager. And this is where we manage all of our ads. Okay, so this is where our campaigns sit. This is also where our ad sets and our actual ad creative sit as well. And don't worry, if this is intimidating you, I'm going to take you through everything step by step, nice and slowly as we progress. But before we launch our first campaign, the first thing we want to do when we are starting to advertise on TikTok is we want to install what is called the TikTok Pixel. Now, the TikTok Pixel is a small piece of code that allows us to track what people are actually doing on our website. So what pages are they visiting? Where are they from? And this allows us to retarget those people, but also to ensure that when we target new audiences, TikTok knows who to reach that is similar to the people that are already buying our products and our services. So this is very, very valuable information, and we want to make sure we get hold of it. So what we want to do when we come to the platform is we're going to go over to tools, and then we're going to go down to events. Okay, so we're going to exit where we are for now. Let's get on events and let's set up this pixel. Okay, so now what we want to do is hit connect data source, and we're going to do web. Okay, so we're going to hit web and we're going to hit next. And then we can put in our website. So I might put our agency website in, for example. And then we can either set up with Google Tag Manager, so this is a manual setup, or we can go through a partner integration. So if you're looking at this right now and you have a WooCommerce website or a Shopify website, then all you need to do is click this, hit next, and then you're going to be prompted to log in with the same account details as you have for one of these other tools. You can, of course, if you're a bit more tech savvy, go ahead with a manual setup as well. And this is simply just going to include us putting a small header code or a small piece of code into the header script of our website. You could also send this over to your web developer. But we're going to do setup with Google Tag Manager. Okay, and we're going to do server-side and client-side tagging. This is just going to allow us to be more comprehensive with what we track. We're going to hit next, and then it's going to take us through to the setup. So we need to connect our Google Tag Manager account. We're then going to connect our Google Analytics account, and of course we're going to have to add a credit card to this as well. And so it's simply going to prompt us to log in with our Google. Okay, we're going to select the relevant account, and we're just going to follow the instructions. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because my account on Google is already attached to a TikTok Pixel, so we're going to come in to We're going to come into all kinds of different issues, but believe me, TikTok have made this incredibly simple in order for you to do this. It's going to take you under 10 minutes to go set this up with Google Tag Manager. If you don't already have a Tag Manager account, it's going to prompt you to create one, and you're just going to go through the simple instructions you see on screen that are going to be laid out to you. Okay, as I said, under 10 minutes. Make sure you go ahead and you do this before you start advertising so you can collect all of that valuable data on your website. Even if you're not advertising on TikTok right now, okay, even if you don't have the intention of spending money today, go ahead, sign up at the link in my description, get your account made so it's there, get the pixel set up, and at least you can start collecting data so when you do start advertising, those ads that you run are going to be even more valuable and get better results for you from day one. So that's a TikTok pixel. Let's go over to campaigns. And this is going to take us through to our ad manager where we're going to see the data on our ads. Now, as I say, we have campaigns, we have ad groups, and we have ads. Campaigns is where we select what kind of ad we want to create. We're going to go through this step by step. Ad group is what targeting we are going to go for. And I'm going to give you all the best practices here. And then ads is what the visuals look like. And I'm even going to give you some content frameworks today. And these are frameworks that we have tested through millions upon millions of ad spend on the platform. So you know they work. And I'm going to give you these frameworks completely for free. Now you will then be able to see all the data when we've created an ad, but I'll show you after we've done that. So we're going to hit create, and it's going to prompt us to choose what kind of campaign we want to create on the platform first of all. So this is where we have to consider what kind of business we have. So do we want to drive traffic through to our website and get clicks? Do we want to generate video views and get brand awareness? Do we want to generate leads? Do we want website conversions? Or do we want product sales? Okay, now product sales is TikTok Shop specifically, okay, when we list our products on TikTok's native shopping platform, which is something we probably can create an additional video about in the future. If you would like me to do that, then drop a comment down below. In fact, you can drop a comment down below and let me know if you want me to talk in detail about any of these things that we go through today in more detail, and if enough of you do, I will create another video in the future. Now, the two main ones that you are going to use, broadly speaking, are going to be either lead generation, if you're a business that wants to generate leads, okay, and so this is with the purpose of us getting contact details from people that are interested in our services, or we're going to be using website conversions. Now, for the purpose of this video, we are going to do website conversions, okay, because we're going to presume that we're directly selling a product online. But again, we can go through maybe lead generation in a future video if you would like me to go through that in more detail. But most people want a website conversion. This could also be a conversion as far as somebody filling in a form on our website as well, because we're trying to collect their information. So it's any kind of specific conversion that we have set on the website, and we are triggering that from our pixel, okay? So let's call this campaign, and let's just call this test campaign 1. It's very important we name our campaigns something that we're going to remember, so when we come back to them, we're not going to forget. Now, we're actually not going to do Smart Plus. I've noticed that it's just got Smart Plus turned on there. I'm going to turn off Smart Plus. Now, Smart Plus is really for beginners, where TikTok is using all of its latest AI technology to kind of run these ads for you. Now, these are good things to try out, but I'm going to teach you how to do this manually, because if you can do it manually, you're going to be advertising like the pros advertise. This is really for complete beginners. So even if you are one, don't get imposter syndrome. By the end of this video, you'll know how to do this without, okay? We can then set campaign budget optimization if we want to, okay? And we can set the budget on that campaign. It's completely your choice whether you want to do this. There are two different ways to optimize spend. We have campaign budget optimization, or we have ad set budget optimization. If we do campaign budget, then TikTok will automatically choose where to allocate the advertising spend. So let's say we have 5 different visuals on this ad. Well, TikTok will choose by itself where to distribute the, let's say, £100 a day that you're spending on the platform. Where do I want to spend this money? What is more likely to perform the best? That's campaign budget optimization. Now, on the flip side to that, we have ad set budget optimization, and this is where we can control the spend on the ad. So if we've got 5 creatives, we can choose, I want you to split the spend evenly across all 5 of those creatives. So what we're really talking about is TikTok being in control of where it distributes spend, or us being in control of where it distributes spend. Now, I'm actually going to turn campaign budget optimization on. It is good practice to have campaign budget optimization on if you are first starting out and you are testing different creatives, because we're basically saying, TikTok, I trust you to choose where to spend this money. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep campaign budget optimization off, but it's something that you will likely use in the future. If you have a larger budget, the minimum you can spend on campaign budget is £50 or $50 per day. So you're going to want to make sure you're launching a couple of creatives to warrant using a campaign budget, or CBO is the other word. CBO versus ABO. Okay, so we called this test campaign 1. Now we're going to do a campaign for dogs. So let's do dog owners. That's a creative that we're going to use. And we're actually going to connect this to, I've got this connected to our Affluent Academy website, but that's the pixel that we've got set up. And the optimization event that we've got here is contact, okay? But you can set whatever optimization event you want. So for example, this could be a purchase, but for us, we're going to have this as a contact form. But again, you can change it on here. If you haven't yet got these different conversion events set up, then all you do is hit create new, and it'll take you back to the events manager, and you can choose what page on your website should be associated with a specific conversion event. Okay, so what this is basically saying to us is when somebody reaches this specific page, then I want you to trigger this specific conversion event. Okay, so have they hit my thank you page? If so, then we want to say, great, we just got a purchase, or we just got someone fill in our lead form. Cool. We can also send traffic through to a TikTok instant page, and this is where we throw up, and TikTok throws up a little sub page, almost like a landing page on the TikTok platform itself. We're not going to do that for now. That's something we can talk about in the future. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is look at placements. Now, placements are where TikTok show our ad on the platform. Now, broadly speaking, I would recommend you keeping this as automatic placement, so TikTok is controlling where it's going to show the ads. Although you can go on select placements and you can get rid of various different placements that exist. But as I say, like, this is one of the things that we want TikTok to choose for us, okay? Because they do a pretty good job at finding out where people are going to convert. Awesome. Now we're going to go down and we're going to choose our targeting option. So who do we actually want to hit? Just want to make sure there's nothing. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. I don't want to hide this information on here. I want you to be able to see this. Okay. So we can choose our location. So we can enter different locations that we want to target, so different countries. We can choose the age range. Okay, so I'm going to exclude 13 to 17. I'm going to target 18 to 24. In fact, I'm going to keep this open for the purpose of this ad. We can then choose gender. I'm going to do female because I think it's more likely that females are going to opt into the product that I'm going to be advertising. Languages, we can keep all, or you can set this to English. Spending power, we're going to keep this on all. High spending power means it's going to spend more budget more aggressively. And then we can start choosing different audiences. Okay, now these are custom audiences. So these are, let's say, like retargeting audiences based on our pixel. So we hit create new and we can target people that have triggered a certain conversion event. We can even create lookalike audiences. So people that are similar to other people that have already triggered a certain conversion event. Or we can go ahead and we can exclude existing audiences. So for whatever reason, we could exclude people that have already purchased our product. We're going to do some interesting behaviors though. Let's see if we can do like dogs. So we've got dogs, and just to show you here, you can go ahead and you can look at purchase intention, you can look at video interactions, we can look at like interests, but we're just going to type in dogs and see what we can come up. And you can see there's an audience size at the top here. See what we can find. Dogs. How many people we've got there? Not an awful lot. Okay, so let's do dog accessories, dog owners. Stack some of these on. We're getting a little bit better. We could do pets. You know, if we're selling a dog product, we probably don't even need to be targeting people that are interested in dogs in general, because over 50% of the population have dogs. So if you've got pets, you're very likely to also have a dog. Let's have a look at that. What do we got here? We've got about 500,000 there. It's not too bad. Broadly, we'd like to have more than this if we're going to. It depends how much money we're planning on spending, but we would like to have more. If we can get to over 1 million, then we've got a nice size audience here. If we've got a small budget, then we can run this. The only thing is when you've got a smaller budget, or when you've got a smaller audience size, and it means that we're not going to be able to run this ad for as long because we're going to get through that audience pretty quickly. So we could try this out as our first audience for this product that we're going to be selling because it is pet related. But then what I would recommend doing is also testing out another audience and just having it completely broad. Seeing as 50% of the population of the UK already own a dog, then we can be pretty sure that the majority of people we target are going to have one. And so we could just get rid of these interests entirely. So we would test that out as an additional audience. We can then go down and we can set our budget. Okay, now I would recommend sticking with this minimum, like £25. You can drop this to £20 or $20 or 20 euros, depending on where you're from. But broadly, you will need to spend a little bit more on TikTok than you will on other platforms to get similar results, not as far as conversions are concerned, but at least as far as testing is concerned in the initial stages. So whilst on Meta, you can get away with spending like £10 a day, on TikTok, you're going to want to spend like £20 or $20 a day per ad set. Okay, so we're just going to keep this on the 25. And then we could start the time. We can set the start time to, this is going to run almost immediately. But we could set an end time as well. So we could choose when we want this campaign to end. Maybe if it was a specific promotion, for instance. And then we can even choose what times of the day the ad shows. But we're going to allow it to show for the entire day. Okay. Now, the optimization goal, we are optimizing for conversions, not clicks, because we want people to actually convert. And we can, when we start advertising for a long time, set a target CPA. This is the target that we want to spend to get the conversion we're trying to get. So we might know that if our product is $20, we can spend up to $5 and still be profitable. So we could set that target CPA at $5, and so then it's going to aim to get conversions at that rate. Okay, now this can go two ways. It could spend more money in order to reach that threshold, okay, or you might set the target too low and it not get any conversions at all, which is why I only recommend playing around with this after you've advertised on the platform for a little bit of time. Attribution window is something we're going to keep pretty open. Okay, so we're going to keep this like as default settings, although you can control how the platform is attributing sales. So do we want it to consider someone who clicks the ad 7 days ago as a sale still, or do we want it to only consider, let's say, clicks and not consider people that view the ad as well? So for example, this is if someone views the ad within 1 day, then it'll also trigger a conversion too. It will also attribute to the ad, but we're going to leave that as default settings, and we are going to hit continue. An activated data connection is required. That is activated. What's happened there? Let's hit continue. Okay. Nice. So that is our ad. And now we're going to go down. Now you can play around with Smart Creative, and this is going to allow you to upload a variety of different creatives that TikTok will then test and iterate on. So if you've got a large volume of creative, you can certainly play around with this. But I'm going to presume that most of you are advertising on TikTok, you're only going to have a few creatives, and so we're going to start with just running one. And so the ad name is going to be, you've got the ad name there, we've got the date, but we can change this to something that's familiar to us as well. And we are now going to scroll down and we're going to make sure we have our account set up, so we've connected to our account. We can create a new custom identity where we're going to change the profile picture and so on and make sure that that's very clear, and enter a display name, so you don't even have to have a TikTok account set up in order to, or this doesn't have to be linking to a specific TikTok account rather. But we want to make sure that's got all of our branding. And now we're going to add our ad creative specifically. So I'm going to hit add videos and I'm going to upload a video that we can use to the platform now. Okay, so this is going to be a nice doggy ad. We can go ahead and we can watch this ad, and then I'm just going to pivot for a moment and give you guys some instruction on the best creative, okay? Because creative is incredibly important to understand. in the world we live in now, creative is absolutely everything when it comes to running ads. You have to make sure that your creative is your number one priority. It used to be in like 2023 and previous that your targeting was the best. It would be media buying, you might have heard that saying, and that would be manual bidding and different hacks on the platform. That is not the case. Creative is the number one priority on your ad account. So you want to make sure that you have really, really good creative that is speaking to a specific demographic. And I'm going to show you what good creative looks like in a second. So we're going to hit confirm. And in fact, we can go ahead and we can actually watch this video.
Hi, I'm Max, and I struggle a lot with my tummy. The thing is, plain dry kibble isn't the best for a dog's digestion. So my mom got me this sauce she adds to my meals, and now my bloating and stomach aches are gone. It's deliciously made from bone broth and sweet potatoes with 16 necessary vitamins and minerals my kibble's missing. Please do yourself a favor. Stop eating plain kibble if you have digestive issues. Tell your mommy to get dog sauce immediately.
Cool. So a very simple ad. This is like a play on UGC, like user-generated content, through the perspective of being the dog itself. So it's very creative. We've got a little playful voice going on there as well. It's straight to the point, it's short, and it's snappy. This is a perfect example of a great TikTok ad. Now, I also have a swipe file that I want to show you guys of a number of different TikTok ads, a number of different creatives from a partner agency of ours called For You Advertising. Now, For You this is For You Advertising. For You are the number one TikTok ad agency in the UK, and they're actually one of our mentees for our agency training program. In fact, we started working with these guys back when they were in university over 4 years ago now, and they started their agency from scratch through our mentorship. Now, as I say, they now own the largest TikTok agency in the UK. They work with mental businesses, okay? So the Essence Vault, who are literally spending millions on a monthly basis. The Oodie, Wild, Turtle Bay, Jim Coffee, and so on. Huge brands that are spending millions upon millions on the TikTok platform. And so I bent their arm for you guys to get a whole bunch of creatives, their best creatives from the past year. Okay, and so you can see some of those creatives and learn from For You Advertising. So thank you to the guys at For You for sending this over. Now, the first framework I want to show you is the Pain Hook Solution Framework. This is arguably the most simple and effective framework that you can use for creating effective TikTok ads. And by the way, side note, this won't just work for TikTok, this will also work on Meta, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, okay? And so the idea of a pain hook solution is we're going to use a pain point as the hook, okay, which can set up before visuals, and then by second 2, we're going to introduce the product as a solution to that pain, okay? And then the rest of the video goes through key USPs and the stresses, the outcome, the after state of the product, as well as emphasizing the difference of before and after, okay? Now, the strengths of this creative is we get to the product solution very quickly, it cuts really quick, it flows well, and it does a great job at stressing the pain point, introducing the solution, and then heightening the difference between the before and after. And that is the key with any key advertising campaign. We need to dig pain, and then we need to show the result of our product and how it solves that pain in the shortest time frame possible, especially when it comes to platforms like TikTok. And so we're looking at like a 15 to 20 second ad here. I'm actually going to show you an example of this ad, and then I'm going to run you through the framework for it.
If your girlfriend gets bad period cramps, Maya is the perfect gift. It heats up and massages where it hurts. It'll make her feel better instantly. That means less fights and more love. She can use it on her stomach or her back and take it with her everywhere. Be her hero and surprise her with Maya today.
Amazing. So this is a really interesting ad from a number of different reasons. Number one, we've got the pain straight away. If your girlfriend gets bad period cramps, straight in, Maya is the perfect gift. Notice we're not targeting females here. Now, For You found out that through this product, they were targeting females directly. But actually, when they started targeting men and positioning this product as a gift for their partner, they started to increase conversions massively. And so we're like, here's the pain that your partner is in. Do you want them to be in pain? Well, here's a gift that you can give them. And this is the solution that it solves for them. And it's going to make them feel better. And then your relationship is going to be lovely. It's going to mean less fights. So we're going through the pains and the solutions through the perspective of the boyfriend who buys the product. This is an absolutely genius ad, which is why For You were able to spend so much money on this campaign and get great results. And so what is the framework? What does this actually look like if we want to apply this to our own business? Okay, and again, you can apply this to any business regardless of what you're selling. So first we have attention/hook. Okay, so we have the hook, we have the product reveal or solution, we then have the USPs and then backing it up, and then finally we have action. So the hook is going to be 2 seconds at the start, and we're breaking it down in the context of this creative. So we're going to have this, we've got AI voice on this creative, but it's if your girlfriend gets bad and then pain point. And then visually, we've got that mid shot with the girl looking distressed. So the visuals always need to represent the words that are being said. That is very important. There has to be congruency across the ad. Let's move me over here somewhere. Okay. Next, we have the product reveal or the solution. This is going to be just 2 seconds. And now we're saying, well, this product is the perfect gift for them. And now we've got another track of the girl looking happy holding the product. So we're like, this is your girl looking stressed. Well, this is her with the product. It's the result of having the product. It's the solution. And now we have to back that up. We've just made this promise of this pain that we're going to solve. Well, now we need to back it up with USPs, which can be a little bit longer. This is the midsection of the ad. So this is the actual process. It heats up and massages when it hurts. It'll make her feel better instantly, meaning less fights and more love. She can use it on her stomach or back and take it everywhere. And we've got a variety of shots that are backing up each of these USPs. And then finally we have our call to action, 2 seconds, nice and short. Be her hero and surprise her with this product today. Close up with the product, then the girl wearing the product looking happy. So again, we're showing that result. And this isn't just for e-commerce products. You can apply this to any lead generation business, okay? This could be, let's say, a dentist, all right? How are we going to do the pain hook solution as far as if you're a dentist? Well, you are, let's say the pain is teeth straightening, okay? You know, if you're tired of having crooked teeth, or if you're tired of teeth staining, this would be for whitening, if you're tired of staining on your teeth, then you need our X whitening package. You know, and then we've got someone with these teeth looking in the mirror, looking a bit sad, and then you need our, and then we've got the whitening package of them looking afterwards, looking great. It doesn't require you to wait 6 months for results. You don't have to come and visit our clinic. And you can start getting whiter teeth in just 2 or 3 days, you know. All hypothetics here that I'm just making off at the top of my head, and then we'll show visuals of that going on. And then finally, the call to action. Click the link below and fill in your details, and we'll contact you to arrange a completely free teeth scan. And there, we've used pain hook solution to sell a dentistry product, teeth whitening. So it doesn't just have to be applied to e-commerce. Now I'm going to give you another framework, okay? And this is called the 3 Reasons Why framework. I'm going to show you the ad in a second, but let's go through it first. So the hook is going to tell the viewer straight away what the video is going to be about, okay? So they're going to know straight away, full transparency. And then the creator then lists and explains 3 different, the creator being the person who's visually on the ad, they explain 3 different relatable reasons why the brand and product are great. The creator also highlights their favorite product that the brand sells, reinforcing how much they like the brand. Now this video uses a mixture of different shots and also the creator talking to the camera using a voiceover. Okay? Now, the strengths are you can change the number of reasons why you love the product or brand to suit the number of USPs that it actually has, and it can be a very quick way to introduce everything about the brand. So let's have a little look at an example of this creative. We've actually got a few, in fact, I'll just show you one.
If you haven't tried the Essence Vault perfumes, here are 3 reasons why you should. Number 1, they are super affordable. Prices start as little as $4.95, and they offer really good bundles so you get even more value for money. Number 2, they have hundreds of designer-inspired fragrances to choose from, so you can stock up on all of your favorite designer dupes. My favorites are 142, which is inspired by Pomegranate Noir, and 444, which is inspired by Lost Cherry. Number 3, they're a vegan and cruelty-free brand, unlike a lot of the designer perfume brands that test on poor little animals. Honestly, I couldn't recommend the Essence Vault enough. You need to try these for yourself.
Amazing. So we have this really authentic ad, which is just listing out through the perspective of a customer the reasons why this product is great. So we're almost presuming that the prospect, the person that's seeing this ad, already knows about the Essence Vault. And for context, the Essence Vault are spending millions on TikTok ads. Now, we're saying 3 reasons why. They're super affordable. Prices start as little as this. They've got great bundles on offer. And they also have hundreds of designer-inspired fragrances to choose from. And then finally, we have, they're vegan and cruelty-free. So we're picking out what we believe to be the 3 biggest USPs for the product, and then we're listing them on this creative. So what does the framework actually look like? And again, you can apply this to any business. So Very simple framework. We have attention or hook. We're always going to have a hook. The hook is the most important part of any ad. We have to capture attention. We're in attention deficit epidemic right now, and so we have to make sure that we are getting the attention of the people that are flicking through mindlessly. They're doom scrolling very, very, very quickly. The hook is the most important part of any ad. So this is going to be talking ahead. We're like, if you haven't tried this product yet, here are the 3 reasons why you should. And then we go straight into the USPs. Number 1, this is why. Number 2, this is why. Number 3, this is why. And then straight into the action point. I cannot recommend this enough. You need to try it for yourself. So here we have 2 very simple ad frameworks, pain hook solution, and 3 reasons why that any of you can apply to your ads, to your business today. And trust me, these creatives have had millions upon millions spent on them, and you're going to get great results with them if you pull them off properly. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, well, this is all well and good, Jordan, but who's going to record those ads for me? And honestly, the most obvious answer is you should do them yourself. As the founder, you should definitely try launch your ads yourself through using these frameworks before you start getting anybody else to do it for you, okay? Because you have the most conviction in your product and service. You have the most understanding. Get behind the camera yourself, push through that fear, and get yourself on some ads. That is really the first step. The next step beyond that is looking at getting UGC creators in, user-generated content creators, paying people that are going to record these creators for you, but only after you've tested this out by yourself. Now, if you don't know where to find people, I'd recommend you going over to Billow. Billow is a great place for you to find authentic creators. You can pay a monthly fee, and you can get quite literally tens of different videos every single month using the scripts that you provide. You can also go over to Fiverr.com and find UGC creators there. So you've got many options between those 2, but again, I recommend you starting off by recording these ads yourself. Okay, let's go back to the ad that we were creating. There are a few final parts of the creative that we do want to be aware of before we go ahead and we publish this. We have our text, okay, and so if I update that there, you'll see that this is there. And we want to make sure the text is a call to action. We want to make sure this call to action relates to specifically what the ad is actually saying, okay? So it could be like 50% off our doggy food today only, or not today only. But it really wants to have the USP in there as well. Then I'm just giving you this for context. But we always just want to have a very specific call to action based on the offer in our ad creative itself, so we have that congruency throughout. It's very important. Okay, now the next thing we want to be aware of is our call to action. So our call to action is the button that we have at the bottom. Now we can test a number of different call to actions if we want to, but for us, we're probably just going to do like order now, or we might do learn more as well. Okay, so we could do learn more and order now. But we're just going to do order now. It's more direct response, okay? But learn more does work very well. Feel free to test these out for yourself, and then you'll be able to see on the data on the back end which of them is going to convert the best. There are other things we can do, like countdown stickers, display cards, and so on. Maybe this is something we can talk about in a future video. And then, of course, we need to set the destination URL, where we actually trying to drive traffic through to. This can be that instant page I told you about, where we're throwing up. Let me just see if I can click learn more for you and just show you what this looks like without having to create one. I'll show you that. Can you see that on screen right now? So TikTok, you click an ad and they click learn more, and it throws up almost like a little mini landing page inside of the platform, which you can take control of. But if you've got your own website already, you really don't need to use that necessarily. But by all means, test it out. We're going to send traffic straight through to our website. Okay. We can add URL parameters if we want to, which are tracking parameters if we're using a attribution tool like Triple Whale, for example, or Click Magic. And then if we are using AI, we need to tick this ad it contains AI generated content, but we don't need to in this instance. We're going to scroll down and we are going to hit publish all. And this is going to launch our first campaign on the platform. Okay, so now it's pending and the ad is under review. This can take up to 24 hours or sometimes a little bit longer, but often way shorter for the ad to come out of review to make sure you're not breaking any policy. One thing I didn't actually show you guys, which I think is important to just touch on, is how you update the thumbnail, because not everybody is going to be scrolling and seeing your ad. Some people will see it on the Explore. And so to update the thumbnail, we just hit the thumbnail button. Okay, and then we can go ahead and we can choose what the thumbnail is that we want it to be in the video. But what we can also do is hit the upload button, and we can upload our own custom thumbnail, and we can make that more attention grabbing. Maybe we can make some larger text, it's more across the screen, being mindful of the fact that we probably don't want to use any more than 5 words, because we are trying to grab very quick attention, and we want those words to call out to something that is going to resonate with our target audience very, very quickly. So make sure you do set a thumbnail. Your ads will convert better, and the data will thank you for it. Now, the final thing I think is worth touching on from an ad perspective is what we actually do to launch multiple creatives at the same time. Because if you are starting to advertise on the platform, then you want to make sure that you are testing out a couple of different variables. Don't just go for one ad. Create the 3 reasons why, create the pain hook, maybe even create a couple of iterations of both. And if we are going to do that, then all we need to do to launch it inside the same campaign, so we start testing, is we just simply hit this copy button here on the test campaign, on the test ad set. We hit existing campaign and we make, let's say, 2 more copies, and we can rename them so that's something that's very clear to us, and we can simply hit copy. And then all we need to do after we've done so, okay, is we go and make sure that our budget is all set the same, we've got our targeting how we want it. I mean, we could test out different interests, so there are 2 different ways that we can test. When we first start out, we can test out different interests, so we could have the same ad creative with 3 different interests, and then we're split testing against ad interest. Or the way that I would recommend doing so, and the way that we run accounts and the way that you run accounts, is we normally just pick the best audience first, and then we test out multiple creatives, because as I said to you, creative is your highest leverage. So I believe you're better off doing that. Okay, and then all we need to do is go through into the individual ad, and then we simply need to upload our different video by hitting this update button, hit publish. Then we need to go into this video, and then we need to go ahead and update that one, hit publish, and now we have 3 different creatives running to the same audience. Okay, and now we've launched our test. And TikTok, over the course of the next couple of days, is going to be running those campaigns, and we're going to be able to see what results we're generating by looking at the data here. So we can go over to ads, and we can have a look at what the data is telling us about the performance. Now, I would recommend you waiting at least 3 days, 3 to 4 days, until you decide to get rid of any campaigns that are not performing. So 3 to 4 days for your testing phase, so you've spent enough money to get an idea on whether or not the creative is actually going to perform. And the data we're really trying to look at is how much have we spent, what is the cost, okay, what is the click-through rate, the CTR. If it's above 1%, then we're doing a good job, okay, so we want a click-through rate above 1%, but most importantly, what is our cost per conversion? Okay, how many conversions have we got, and what is our cost per conversion? How much are we spending to acquire a customer, or how much are we spending to generate a lead? And does this make us profitable on the back end based on our own company economics? And only you know your economics there as well. Okay, you can dive into lots more data. You can just go on default columns. You can hit customize columns, and you can go look at a whole bunch of different pieces of data on the platform that may or may not be relevant to you and what you're trying to achieve right now. Okay, so for example, if you want to test your creative and get granular with how well creative is performing, you might want to look at your video views at 25%, your video views at 50%, your video views at 75%, so you can see where the drop-off is on your creative. So next time you launch more creative, you know which part of the ad to actually play around with yourself. Okay, so that is in a basic form how we can actually see the data, and that is our testing. Again, we're going to wait for 3 to 4 days. We're then going to analyze the ad, see what's performing best, get rid of any poor performers. We can then either choose to increase the spend by up to 20% on our top performers, or we can go ahead and replace the bad performance with new creatives and continue testing as we go. If you would like me to talk more about scaling strategy and so on, then I'm happy to talk about it in a future video. Again, if enough of you comment down below, then we will talk about that in a future piece of content. And for those of you that skipped through this video, you missed it at the start, make sure you do click the link in the description. You sign up through the link that I provided for you, because TikTok will provide you with up to $1,000 free ad spend. Now, you do have to spend a minimum amount to get that, and that ad spend amount will change over time. They're running different offers that are seasonal, so I'll continue to update that link with whatever the latest offer is that TikTok's running at the moment. But you'd be crazy not to do that and get the free ad spend spend on the platform. So at least you can mitigate your risk when you're in the early stages and you're testing out and you're already finding your feet with the platform, and you can waste some of TikTok's money instead of wasting your own, okay? And then ultimately you have optimized your ads and you can continue to scale them when you've got more experience. Now, finally, for those of you that do want to continue learning a little bit further, the guys over at For You Advertising have created an incredible TikTok course. This is kind of when the students become the masters. The guys over at For You helped us learn how to create great TikTok ads and offer them in our own agency, despite us helping these guys start their agency 4 years ago. And they did that through this program. We put our whole team through this program. It's absolutely incredible. So for those of you that really do want to dive into the deep intricacies of exactly how high-end agencies are spending millions on the platform, maybe because you want to spend a huge amount yourself, then by all means, go over to this. I'm going to put a link in the description as well. You can check this out and you can learn how the absolute best are advertising on the platform today. Cool. Hope you got value from this. Remember, knowledge is worthless without implementation. Go sign up, get the pixel on, launch your first campaign, see how you get on, and start printing money on the platform today. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.